he was total blue. He was gone. And that's why I gave him a Narcan.
So you saved somebody's life tonight?
Yeah, I do it on a regular basis.
I have found 4 people dead from fentanyl.
They found him unconscious. They were unable to rouse him.
To have the coordination with EMS and police has been a game changer for us.
It's about cops on the street, focusing on the folks who are most in need.
It's the most rewarding thing you could have ever asked for, despite what we go through on a daily basis.
The ByWard Market is at the core of the nation's capital. It's a tourist destination and where people in Ottawa come to shop, eat, and party. But it's also ground zero for the city's opioid crisis, and that hasn't gone unnoticed. In fact, the Ottawa paramedics now have a special team of advanced care paramedics that only responds within the boundaries of the market. And producer Ryan Garland and I spent 3 days with them.
This is on King Edward Street. It's coming in priority purple, overdose 4703. Can you log me on to 303 King Edward?
This is a typical call. Last year, the market had more than 450 overdose calls that required a full-scale response. This year, the market medics are here in 30 seconds.
Someone came out of this building, told us to call 911. We did everything that we can, and we got help for them. Everyone showed up very quickly, so I hope we did it efficiently and on time.
When you hear that, it's one of the scariest things, because you don't know if they're going to die or if they're coming back.
4703, you can cancel all incoming resources. It's going to be a code 71, patient logged off.
The patient walked off. It happens a lot now. The community carries Narcan and knows how to use it.
So what I think it is the Narcan puts you in instant withdrawal, and that's what happens, is that all the signs and symptoms is a withdrawal. So the fentanyl's gone. No, he has no more of it. So that's why people go and want to use it right away.
So you saved somebody's life tonight?
Yeah, I do it on a regular basis.
Part of the goal of this team is to respond to overdose calls quickly, assess the severity, and send unneeded resources back out into the city. The team is made up of 13 advanced care paramedics. They rotate shifts and spend about 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, cruising around the ByWard Market. They're off roster, which means they have the discretion to choose which calls they go to. The whole program is being funded by the Ontario Solicitor General. It's offering up $200,000 annually for the next 3 years.
Sounds like they're overdosed outside the building. 2 Narcans given already. We're super close.
Again, the team is here in under a minute. This time, the Narcan isn't working.
He never regained consciousness, so there was no response or anything that could try to elicit a response. He didn't have any kind of painful stimulus, so right now they're just making sure that all of his vital signs are okay. If they have to do any quick interventions in the back to correct something, they will. And then this is probably going to be a person who's transported to the hospital.
In Ottawa, paramedics usually transport about 70% of the patients they help, but paramedics on this team are only transporting about 38% of the time. That's big because it frees up ambulances for other life-saving calls in the rest of the city.
I live in the staircase over there, so I sleep on the concrete.
Now, the team doesn't just respond to overdoses. They also spend time building connections, getting to know faces, people like Thumper.
And folks, I am not normally like this. This sounds way more dramatic, putting it this way, than it actually is. I punched the security guard.
She says they were playing around, but she actually did hurt her hand. It's swollen, and she trusts this team.
I told you before, I don't like going to the hospital, and then
So
once you're a mental patient, they treat you like a mental patient as soon as you walk in.
Austin Giannette sees her often and is hopeful she'll take his advice.
You could go over to Sandy Hill tomorrow,
Yeah.
have one of the docs look at it at the walk-in clinic, and with their experience and medical education, they may tell you right then and there it's not broken.
Well, like I have a wound on my leg.
Often these interactions don't require much medical care, but it's all part of that goal of building community.
He usually stops and gives me a little bit of supplies and checks on how things are going. Yeah, we definitely need to be taken by the hand. A lot of people aren't gonna just accept like going off, ask for help.
That's a key part of this program, offering care to people who wouldn't ask for help on their own. But the paramedics don't do it alone. It's a collaborative effort. Now, a lot of that collaboration happens here at the Sandy Hill Community Health Center, where paramedics on the team often find themselves stopping in at the beginning of their shift, in the middle of their shift. They come here to talk to staff who can give them a sense of what's really going on out there in the community.
So to have the coordination with EMS and police has been a game changer for us, even for the fact to let EMS know that our clinic is open, how busy the clinic is, if we can have folks seen.
I'm so proud of these paramedics. They have just gone above and beyond just responding to 911 calls and reading all of their, I have goosebumps just talking about it, reading all of their updates in the chat just about how they connected with individuals.
Is he okay? Is he okay? Yeah. Can you wake up a little bit?
How excited and appreciative the community was for them, and it's just literally fills the chat every day, and that fills the cup for sure. That's how you keep going. You just see this team of paramedics who just endless dedication to their community. That fuels it, but then also that appreciation from the community that when they need help, there's people there.
Every Tuesday, the paramedics take part in a meeting here at the Knock. It's Ottawa Police's new Neighbourhood Operations Centre in the Market. Paramedics are just one piece of the puzzle. Bylaw, City Outreach, Ottawa Public Health, OC Transpo, and the Ottawa Police are all here. Each agency has their own part to play in trying to better things. The idea is by working together, real change can happen. Even those most at risk are collaborating. Ottawa Inner City Health says its Block Leaders program is going strong. The program started last summer. It employs peers of people living on the streets to walk the market and help wherever they can, rebuilding lost connections.
What happened with the downtown core is with pre-COVID, we had a community down here. Clients would protect each other. Children would come up, people would start screaming, there's a child on the block, everybody would hide their needles, would hide their alcohol. Somebody was not doing well, they would come and get the nurses. We kind of lost that with COVID. Everybody kind of went into their own little bubble. And the block leaders are trying to bring that sense of community back.
And that's what people who live and work down here want to see. The opioid crisis is a healthcare issue at heart, but it comes with other problems too, including crime. OPS knows they're not going to police their way out of this issue, so they're trying a new approach. But as we learned, it's mostly back to basics.
This is policing 101. It's foot patrol. It's being in the community.
But with a precision approach. Officers walk the market, hitting 8 hotspots, areas where they say data already shows a high call volume.
So these are all the areas that have been identified as our hotspots.
Yeah, based on crime statistics?
That's right.
Yeah. We spent a day on foot patrol with the team. It's all part of the core strategy. Community outreach response and engagement, a direct response to increased concerns from residents and business owners.
Our objectives are, yes, we want to reduce crime, but our main objective really and truly is we want people to feel safer. So they need to know that we're out here. They need to know that they need to see us out here as often as possible. And it can't just be a cruiser parked on the street. It can't just be us walking around. It has to be us actually speaking to people and making sort of our presence known.
We spend most of the day checking in on people, often police just asking them to move along.
She's not necessarily an issue, but because there's been so many issues here, Shoppers just doesn't want anybody loitering on their property at this point.
Like paramedics, police are also working to build relationships.
This actually gives you the opportunity to walk around the community that you're working in and speak with the people that you're dealing with, but then also the business owners and just the people on the street that you would never generally have the time to speak with.
But time is money. The total budget for the core strategy is $4.8 million over the next 3 years. 95% comes from the province. The majority will be spent on these foot patrols. The rest will help run the operations center, support community initiatives, and analyze the results of the program. The most recent crime stats for the market weren't available, but police say the neighborhood is one of the most problematic areas in the city. Back with paramedics, another overdose call. This time, it's on the sidewalk. Narcan's not working here either.
We assessed his heart, his blood sugar, his blood pressure, and then we got into the back of the truck. And at that point, being in the back of the ambulance, he finally came to with us, which again is very suggestive of an opiate overdose.
The work isn't easy. Day in, day out. It can sometimes feel like you're not getting anywhere, and partly why these guys say you have to celebrate the small victories. Like when we get pulled over to help deliver sleeping bags.
I mean, I drive by here and I see it, and I thought, this is a good as place as any to.
Yeah.
These guys need this, right?
Or when we come across a group of volunteers just here handing out food in their free time.
We want to make connections. We want to talk to people. We want to give them hope. We want to encourage them that actually, if they want to get sober, there's an option. There's options out there.
Some days the victories feel bigger. Like today, when the core team finds Angel. Shelter workers are looking for her with news she'll soon have a home.
I got a text asking for our help to locate this female that they were looking for her. Essentially, I'm assuming she was on the housing registry, and it was her turn to get the keys to a dwelling unit, so she's obviously very happy.
Those tears, tears of joy.
They got me placed pretty quick, I guess. I didn't expect it this quick. They told me before some snowfall.
Nobody we spoke to for this story claimed to have all the answers and reminded us that these projects are in the very early stages and, like so many things, boxed in by their own budget. But the hope is that even if you're not one of the people saving lives, this type of collaboration could help change them.